Today, I'm going to kind of step out onto a little bit of a limb and show you guys something you may know about, you may not know about, and some of you may not even be using this tool. But I highly encourage you to start looking at the spending game if you're not using it. Some updates this year that are really, really great that Jeff has imposed, and I want to talk about just for a second the idea of Roth conversions. I get a lot of phone calls now about people wanting to show Roth conversions. Like there's this belief in the industry that taxes are going to go up, and you get out while the getting's good. And so we have some tools inside the spending game that will really help make some quick presentations to see how things would work out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a present position here in spending game. This is just a spending game case. If you don't know anything about spending game, that's okay. You'll get the concept in just a second. So all I've got in here is someone's lifetime inflow, what they need to live on, what they're getting paid, and I'm not caring about the source. And then I have an IRA that's just growing at 5%. Okay. And what I want to do is I want to kind of look over here under reports. If you forget everything else, this is a great report to kind of take a look at. This is the tax projection report in reports. So I clicked up on reports at the top left, and I'm going to go find the tax projection report. They're in alphabetical order. Okay. And for this particular presentation, I'm going to focus on two things. Number one, I'm going to focus on their marginal tax bracket. I've got it right there in the center. And you can see they're sitting at a roughly 12%, right until, what happens down here? They jump to the 22% bracket, right? What happened there? Well, 74, 75. Can anyone take a guess as to what happened? Their RMDs kicked in, right? So now they're being forced to take money out of that IRA account, and it bumped them into the next tax bracket. Okay. Now, the other thing that I want you to notice right next to the marginal tax bracket is there is a tax margin headroom calculation that's done here. This lets me know that this year, if I wanted to do a Roth conversion today, this year, I could do $33,000 of a Roth conversion and still stay in my 12% tax bracket. Okay. Now, normally what you'd have to do is print this out or copy it out to Excel and copy these numbers. But Jeff added a new tool this year. So I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to go to the Roth conversion. Now, this is just a copy of the previous case. I'm not going to bore you with adding a Roth account and setting it up. It's already here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over to this IRA account and I'm going to do a conversion. We use a tool called the reallocation tool. So I'm going to click on the withdrawal column in the IRA account. Okay. I'm going to click this little slider right here that says RF, that's for reallocate funds. Now, I want you to notice there's a bunch of columns here that of types of behaviors I can choose, but when I select the Roth, it adds one, right? Fund to tax bracket. So I can come in here and I can say, you know what? For the next 10 years, I want to take as much money out as I can and stay in the 12% bracket, right? So I'm going to click enter, no comment. And what you're going to see is I have a column that I've added, the reallocation out, pay taxes from lifestyle. And you see that 30,000, 32,000. See, it's making adjustments for taxation and it's moving the money. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the cash flows and everything, but I do want to go back over and show you that exact same report, the tax projection report here. And what I want you to notice is what happens with their taxes, right? It takes a little bit longer. There's a little bit more room, right? But they don't jump as quickly into the next bracket, right? And once we do a full presentation, then I can show you what the tax ramifications are. I'll just show you the really quickly the visualizations. These numbers aren't hyper accurate because I didn't save excess, so I'm not comparing apples to apples. But if they were just to spend their conversion money and not convert, what would it look like when they got out to 90? Right. So they, instead of saving the conversion money, so we can see that we can make a positive impact, and this Roth money is growing tax free. So covered a lot of ground here. Okay. If you want to learn more about spending game, if you want to, there's support.moneytracks.com has an entire spending game section. If you have a specific client you want help walking through a Roth conversion with, we have the Concierge program. I'm going to put a link to the Concierge program on the chat. You're welcome to pick up my calendar, pick an hour that works for you during the day, and we'll do a Zoom meeting. right? We'll pull up your case files. I'll walk you through the step-by-step process of how to validate and make the Roth conversion that you want to make. And it's $100 an hour, and we can do anything you want. And that's not only good for spending game. If you want to do something in financial GPS or with any of the other presentation tools and you feel like you want some private training, that's available for that as well.